Hey everyone, Mike here, the Wholesaling Titan, back again. In today's video, I want to talk to you about direct mail. So this is going to be specifically for people who are starting to spend some money on their marketing, but maybe you have some budget limitations. So basically, I'm going to show you what type of list you should be using and also how to get the highest conversion rate, essentially like maximizing every dollar that you spend. So what we're going to do now is actually jump into a live webinar presentation I did where I'm discussing this exact topic and actually showing you how to qualify your list for the best data and again that best conversion rate. This is from a webinar presentation I did. It's called how to do your first or next deal in the next 36 days. I'm starting to mess around with some of the live stuff, so I'm going to be doing a series of live webinars. Hopefully you like this little snippet and you'll join me on the next one. What you can do is you can go to www.needmotivatedsellers.com. From there you'll get a free copy of my ebook and then you can register for the next live webinar. Or I'll probably throw up some the replays from the latest webinar for a couple days or so. Also, I don't really have a plan for these things, so I'm just going off of the questions and comments that I'm getting, on YouTube or email, Facebook, whatever. So if you guys have any questions about this stuff, definitely hit me up. Also, if you like what you see, please throw me some likes or subscribe. It'd be great to have you on the channel. A lot of engagement's always good and it gives me better content and better ideas to give back to you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this webinar presentation. Again, if you have questions, just type them in the box at the end and I'll try to get back to you. Enjoy. And we'll jump right into the next thing. So this is if you have money. So even if you do have money, you probably should be doing the technique that I showed you just a moment ago. But if you do have money, I'm going to suggest that you go ahead and do some direct mail. And I really like direct mail a lot. You can choose a source from the 41 Ways ebook. All of that stuff works. It works better in certain markets than other. I'm a person who's very much data driven. So for me personally, I do have some lists that do convert better. I'll talk to you again at the end of this presentation about that. But any of those things will work. And again, you just got to kind of carve your niche in there. Again, we talked about that inverse relationship between time and money. So one thing that I have done when I was first getting started is I didn't have a lot of money to mail to a lot of people. Let's say I bought a divorce list, a list of divorcees. I couldn't mail to all of those people. There's a lot of divorces, especially here in South Florida. So I would spend more time and I would go through each address. I'd open two windows on my computer, the spreadsheet and then Zillow. And I would just copy and paste the address. And if it was like an apartment or I don't know if the price was like, it was like a $800,000 house, or if it was a mobile home, manufactured home, something I wasn't interested at the time, I just kicked it off so that made my list smaller. I qualified the list, then I had the money to spend to go ahead and mail it. Again, I spent more time, but I spent less money. Now, if you have more money, less time, then just blanket mail to all of those people. And yeah, your conversion rate won't be as high, but you won't spend as much time. So I'm assuming a lot of people might have some money, but maybe not a lot. And so one of the best lists that you can use are combination lists. And that's where you have multiple levels of criteria to get you the highest quality or the most likely seller who's going to want to be motivated. So I got a quick clip right here. Let's jump into this. I'll give you an example of what this looks like. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much time on this. So this will be the abridged version, the Cliff's Notes version, if you will. So here I am. This is the county clerk website here. I have other trainings, but basically you can get things that are public records such as evictions, probate, divorce, and you can buy these lists. So I have one just for the sake of ease and for demonstrational purposes already pulled up here. So that's what this one looks like. Now, what I was saying earlier is that if you have, let's say time, but not a lot of money, you want to qualify your list so you're not spending as much on your mailers. Because remember, you're going to be mailing not just once, but for several months in order to be truly effective. So one thing I do, or you can have your VA do, is you can just copy these addresses, and yes, it's a bit time consuming, and open up a window here with Zillow and just copy and paste, and anything that doesn't look like a good fit, let's say it's a mobile home or something, just take it out of there. So for me, yeah, you might be able to flip, some of these apartments and suites depending, but for me, I don't even look at them. So you can just take those out of there, just delete them, and that'll make your list a little bit more qualified. Now, what I meant by combo lists is that you're adding criteria to your list to give you essentially what's going to be most likely to be the most motivated seller. So what I've got also opened up here, this is Reafax. This is my CRM that I use, and I can pull a list with some different filters in here. Now, if you don't have Reafax or if you're outside of Florida, You can pull this same data from list source and you pay for it. But check this out here. So public records, I'm looking in Palm Beach. I put the city as Boynton Beach just so it won't take as long, you know, for the sake of the video, to make it kind of short. Any type here, owner occupied, I went ahead and said no. Sold price, 30,000 to 300,000. Again, it just, you know, qualifies it down to what my buyers are most likely looking for. And then here, there's a filter for equity. So I just put in, you know, the debt to equity greater than 30%. And again, you can do that on list source as well. So now go ahead and search that. Okay, so the data pops up here. I'm just going to select all and go ahead and export to Excel. So once I do that, I get a spreadsheet that looks like this. And again, now we're going to combine the data. So this list, I forget if this is even divorce or eviction or whatever. But the full list, if you look at it, it's over 1,000 records here. So what I'll do here is take the addresses, copy, and then I'll just paste them over here. And then I'll highlight this address list here and highlight the address list column rather here. And I'll do some conditional formatting and just use a rule to highlight duplicate values. Let's highlight them, I don't know, in green. And now, if anything that's highlighted over here also appears somewhere in this list, which means now I know that this property here, it meets the criteria of this list, whether it's divorce or eviction, and it's whatever these filters were that we put in just a moment ago. So it's got, what was it? You know, equity, it's probably worth between 30 and 300,000. The owner does not live there. And now you can, you know, take out all the other shit if you, like I said, don't have the funds to mail to everything. And by using this combination of data, now you can get a highly qualified list that's going to return to you with a much higher conversion rate. So that's what I mean when I say do combo lists. Cool. So hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed that little snippet of that webinar presentation. The entire presentation is about an hour and a half of pure content. Again, that was how to do your first or next deal within the next, 5 weeks or so. So if you want to check the next live presentation or see, a replay of the previous presentation, go ahead and head over to www.needmotivatedsellers.com. I'll put a link in the description. Again, you'll get my free ebook, 41 Ways to Find Motivated Sellers Fast as Hell. Then from there, you can either join me on the next live webinar and or watch the webinar replay. Again, I don't have anything planned or scheduled for it. I'm going off purely, what you guys are asking for in the different comments and questions I receive. So please let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email, shoot me a Facebook message. What are the topics you need covered? What do you have questions on? I'll put together a presentation. And we'll do this thing. Everyone who signs up, I'll shoot you an email when it's go time. And like I said, I'll put the replay up for a couple days thereafter. And hopefully we do some wholesaling, some business together, and be all good. Keep nurturing this online relationship we got going. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me. And hopefully I will talk to you soon. Please go ahead and, again, leave me some comments and questions so I have some more material to go off of. And also subscribe. Yeah, that'd be dope. Thanks again, and happy wholesaling. I'll talk to you guys hopefully on the next webinar. Peace.